So we're delighted to have Mary from Citizens UK with us today. So thank you so much for being with us, Mary. And Mary is going to kindly help us understand how we can help ensure that vulnerable families in our church and school communities are not missing out on the free school meals that they could access. So thank you so much for leading us through your presentation on this today, Mary. So over to you.
Thank you, Patty. So today I'll just be talking about the No Recourse to Public Funds extension, and we're sharing a brief guide that would help schools make the application for families that are impacted by this issue. And so I'll be covering four main things: what is NRPF, who is eligible, how to apply, and further things to consider. So first of all, what is NRPF? NRPF stands for No Recourse to Public Funds, and essentially it is a condition which prevents migrants from receiving access to the welfare safety net. And so there are many forms of benefits that are available for the regular British person, but some benefits that families on NRPF can't access are housing benefits and free school meals. And today we're talking specifically about free school meals. And so prior to the permanent extension, which was an extension made to the eligibility criteria that enables families to access free school meals, migrants could not have access and could not apply for free school meals for their children. But now with the extension, many more migrant families, including those who are undocumented, can now have free school meals. And so it's also important to note that this also goes beyond the 1 year Sadiq Khan has implemented for all children. They can now access free school meals for the entirety of their primary schooling career. The second point is on how to apply. The full information can be accessed through the government website, and if you just type in No Recourse to Public Funds or permanent extension for free school meals criteria, you'll be able to access it at the first link. So that essentially just shows that it is a legitimate thing that has happened and families can now access this. But essentially, applications go through the school and not through the council. So with the wider FSM cohort, who are families that access benefits but can't afford to have free school meals for their children, those applications are made through the local authorities. However, with this permanent extension, these applications are made through the school. And so schools are the ones who essentially would put out the application form, and you can also get a sample application form on the website, as well as just details as to details on the criteria for those who are eligible for that. All of that is available on the information, but on the website, sorry. But essentially, the schools are the ones who would be supporting families through the application process, and the schools are also responsible for keeping the record of those families who have made the application. So schools do not also need to use the application that is on the website. You can also curate one. They can also curate one for themselves. However, the application form on the website is just an easy guide to use, and it's a free sample to use. So just some things to consider. The first point would be to assure parents that the information will not be shared with the Home Office. I imagine that this will be of particular concern for families who are undocumented who can now access free school meals. It's important to just assure them that yes, the information will be gathered by the school, and in some cases they might need to send that to local authorities to state that these are families who have now made applications and can now access free school meals, but that information will not be extended to the Home Office, and that will be kept safe. The second thing to consider is to think of the best way to share this information with school and guide them through the process. So if the school is presently trying to make efforts to reach out to parents and build that relationship, this is something that schools will have to pay particular attention to in terms of thinking about creative ways to gather parents, whether that's a coffee morning, a parents' evening, an information session, and also consider those who might speak a second language and how to ensure that the information is also getting to them and disseminating in a way that they can understand and they can feel free to ask questions. The third thing the school needs to consider is how they need to collect that information. And so this is something the business managers of schools would be more cognizant of and have more information about, and just more awareness about, whether that's, entering a specific code into whatever CRM they use to to keep track of, who have applied and number of pupils who have applied. So that's something that you can discuss internally with business managers. The fourth point to consider is to keep clear records so that you can declare the number of pupils on the census and receive the pupil premium. This is especially important as if you do not have a record of the number of pupils and declare them on a census, you won't be able to get the money to support the children to ensure that they are receiving a hot meal. The fifth and final thing schools need to consider is that as soon as the application is made for the child, they can immediately begin to receive free school meals. I understand that different schools might take a different stance on this, and that they might want to receive the money first. But they are welcome to also start providing a hot meal for that child, as long as they are perfectly comfortable with the evidence that's been provided by the family. An additional point schools will need to consider with regards to undocumented families is that they will not have any accompanying documents to state the fact that they don't have any status. And so what they can do is to self-declare to the school and allow the school to know that they do not have any status, and the school can just document that in the same way they do with other families. Thank you for listening. I hope that information has been useful. And if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me on my email, and I'll be happy to support in any way I can. Thank you.